Tonight, hell hath no fury like heavyweight scorn.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
The divorce begins as Donald Trump threatens alimony and Elon Musk wants custody of voters. Plus, from Epstein to electoral prowess, the extraordinary battle crosses the Rubicon with MAGA forced to take sides. Also, as Musk does his best to bury Trump's agenda, another Republican billionaire grabs a shovel.
The United States' fiscal house is not in order.
And
you think Trumpism lasts beyond this term?
I don't think so.
George Clooney gets real about the state of America.
Good evening. I'm Abby Phillip in New York. Let's get right to what America is talking about. Donald Trump says that he's trying to end wars. But wow, he sure is embroiled in one right now with his ex. It is hard to overstate how extraordinary this public feud has played out over the last few hours between the world's most powerful man and the world's richest. So we're going to illustrate this using memes and GIFs, which Musk's platform made famous. But before we do that, just remember this. Musk is livid over the cost of Trump's bill. He's been trashing it all week, but refrained from attacking Trump personally. That was until around noon today, when Trump called Musk out from inside the Oval Office. Musk then claimed that Trump and Republicans would have lost the election if not for him. Musk says Trump should be impeached, replaced by J.D. Vance. Musk says the reason the administration hasn't released the Epstein files is because Trump is in them. Musk says that Trump's tariffs will cause a recession. Musk calls Trump a liar over claims about electric cars. He also warned that Republicans will die, that Trump will die first, and he's got another 40 years of life ahead. Musk used his own words against him about the debt. Trump claims that he fired Musk, even though his special status ended. Trump said Musk was wearing thin inside the White House. Trump threatened to kill all of Musk's government contracts. And that led Musk to say that he is decommissioning his spacecraft that takes crew and cargo to the International Space Station. So what happens next? Well, who knows? But today's posts personally cost Elon Musk $34 billion. That is billion with a B, as Tesla lost $150 billion in value. Now, as for Trump, he's got a bill and an agenda that is now in serious jeopardy. Man, these men, too emotional these days to lead, apparently. It's kind of scary.
Abby.
Is that a badge for you to breathe into?
No, this is what
okay.
I'll be pouring this in my Newsnight mug tonight.
Oh, Lord.
Pepto-Bismol is what we all need here in the Republican Party.
I thought it was some Jack Daniels.
They might need that too.
I'm just, first of all, I just want to, I know that we have our differences here sometimes, but if you could give me a little dispensation for the next hour and not beat me to death. Look, here's the deal. The goals.
Well, you don't have to, you don't have to defend either of these men. You could just tell us.
And here's the problem.
What you think
here's the problem. They both have a point. Trump's agenda is in the bill, and he wants to pass it. That's his point. Musk is not wrong about the national debt, and he deeply cares about this, and that's his point. So their goals are not mutually exclusive, which is, I think, the rub. And for all these Republicans out here who, like me, have really enjoyed this coalition, this partnership. I mean, I firmly believe that the relationship and the partnership they formed last year saved America and put us on a path to saving Western civilization. And now this puts that in jeopardy. And so it's not just about the daily policy quibbles. It's about the larger cultural things that are at play. So I'm going to have some of this tonight and hope for better days and better skies tomorrow, because I still love them both. And I hate it when mom and dad are fighting.
Go ahead and take a sip, Bakari. I mean, Elon Musk is calling in his favors. Okay?
Yeah, I mean,
he spent $250 million on Donald Trump, and he is saying, I own you.
He spent about $300 million. And, I think Scott did the best job you can possibly do of kind of getting yourself in this pretzel and figuring out the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Both of them, they just went for broke. I mean, this was Drake and Kendrick. I mean, that is what it was. It was nuclear. Drake is a rapper from Toronto, and Kendrick Lamar is and they had a beef. We'll talk about it on the commercial. So, I mean, it was that type of, we're going to go for broke. We're going to go at each other's throats. We're going to talk about the Epstein files. We're going to cut your subsidies. But I also don't want Democrats to get too excited. I mean, I think that you see people online and you see people in social media that are like saying, oh my God, this is the end of Donald Trump. This is the same person whose father was sued because he didn't rent to black folk. This is the same person who stiffed contractors. This is the same person who has 5 kids by 3 baby mamas. This is the same person. And the list goes on and on and on. Donald Trump has control over his base. Elon Musk is going to learn that the extent of his power is not what he thinks it is. Donald Trump wins this battle versus Elon Musk. This is just reality TV, and I think people need to get over it.
The most interesting and perhaps important issue, political issue and policy issue, is what President Trump said about his now former friend, at least it seems, Elon Musk. And I want to go to Elena Treen at the White House. Elena, it seems as though we saw kind of the unraveling of a bromance real time. And what our viewers saw was what it turned out to be one side of a fight. The other side was Elon Musk real time using his platform X to respond and kind of push back on many of the things that President Trump said. We're going to show our viewers what happened, but I want you to kind of give a sense of what brought us to this extraordinary moment just a few days after he gave a big glowing goodbye to Elon Musk from the White House.
Yeah, it's not even a week, Dana, since we saw them both praise each other from the Oval Office days later now. And actually the first time reporters are actually having the opportunity to ask the president about this since that moment. We're now seeing this completely fraying relationship on full display. It's very remarkable given just how close I know, my colleagues here at the White House, and I know that the president and Musk have been for months now, really him being one of the president's favorite people on this White House complex. I want to give you a sense just of some of the key things I took away from the president's comments. Overall, though, I would note as well that his tone was strikingly somber when discussing this, and really you could see that it saddened him almost. You could see kind of the emotion in his tone and on his face as he was discussing this. He said, quote, "I've always liked Elon." He said I was very surprised. He said he would have rather had him criticize him directly rather than the spending bill that the president has been working tirelessly with his team to try and muscle through Congress. He said, and this to me was maybe the most notable quote from the president, he said, "Look, Elon and I had being a very key word here, had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore." He said he was very disappointed in Musk. He went on to add that Musk knew about the, quote, inner workings of the bill very intimately, and claimed that he only started to take issue with it and had a problem with it once he left the administration, but also once he learned of the breadth of the electric vehicle mandate, really the credits that are being revoked in this bill that, of course, could and will impact Tesla. We also did see, as you mentioned, Dana, Musk respond to this just moments ago on X. He had really been posting throughout the entire time the president was speaking, but then he did post, made this one post linking to a video of the president making these comments about him, and said, "Keep the EV mandates in the bill, but get rid of the pork and the rest of it." He said you could have an ugly big bill or a slim and beautiful bill. So clearly showing, actually at the top of that post, he said, quote, "whatever," really showing, where he stands on this. All to say, I mean, if you just look at months ago, particularly leading up to him being in the White House and then ever since, the president, would parade Musk around Mar-a-Lago and his different properties with him, always had him by his side at the dinner table, has continued to allow him to walk into the Oval, unannounced whenever he wanted. This is very far from that, and it's very unclear now where this relationship is going to go.
Well, I think we're watching where it's going, and it's going pretty downhill pretty fast. Elena, thank you so much.
One big, beautiful breakup. So this is nuts. In the event you've been living under a rock, I'm going to give all of you a little bit of a backstory here. So this seemingly started when Elon took direct aim at Trump, branding his much-hyped big, beautiful bill a pork-filled, disgusting abomination. I appreciate the adjectives. Pork-filled. It's nice. Things escalated from there when Elon called to kill the bill, saying that it will bury American citizens in crushing debt. He went on to say, in November of next year, we fire all politicians who have betrayed the American people. things weren't looking great. And then yesterday it went nuclear with Elon tweeting, the reason we haven't seen the Epstein list is because Trump was on it. Trump then implied Elon had Trump derangement syndrome. That was great. You want to play that clip, Nat? Let's see that real quick.
And they love us. And then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it, and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. But we have it with others too. They leave, and they wake up in the morning.
Okay, that's good. I think we got it. Thank you. We got a lot to cover here because it keeps going. Elon then says Trump would not have won the election without him. And I think we've left off with Trump saying they might take away Elon's government contracts. Last I heard, they were going to talk. And this is the best part. We were preparing for this morning. And as we were, I was like, all right, look up, when are they talking? And the headline said, right here, right? Trump and Musk to speak on Friday. Today being Friday. When you click on the link, though, it has changed. And where are we now, Nat? Trump is not interested in talking with Elon. Now, my girl Amy called this weeks ago. So, Amy, take us away. What the hell is going on, and how did you see this coming?
So I've been following the big, beautiful bill pretty intently. And like I mentioned on our last show, I am pretty much against these big omnibus bills because generally speaking, they put in a lot of stuff in there that isn't so good, and they hope to divert your attention away from that by putting in things that people do want and things that people do like. The issue when it comes to this bill was it was really dividing a lot of the fiscal hawks because it's contributing massive, massive spending, and it's going to increase the deficit. And in doing so, that is really directly undermining all of the work that Elon was doing at Doge. Now, a lot of Republicans have been outspoken about this. Thomas Massie is one. Rand Paul is also one. And Rand Paul came out recently and he literally said, we cannot codify these Doge cuts unless the president puts through a rescission bill. The Republicans already tried to push it through. 26 Republicans voted against it, so it is now in the hands of the president, and he doesn't seem to be acting. So when I saw these two things playing out simultaneously, I was like, okay, something is going to go down here soon. This is definitely going to be the end of the bromance. But what's interesting to me, and, you know, this is purely, you know, speculative. I'm not saying anything definitively, but when you look at the timeline, it's interesting because before Elon said it was pork-filled, prior to that, what he actually said, I believe it was May 27th, he said, I believe a bill could be big or it could be beautiful, but it could not be both. 3 days later is when he was in the Oval Office, Trump giving him his goodbye speech, Elon's in there with the black eye, and then a couple of days... I'm not saying anything, no. But then,
and looking a little twitchy, to be honest.
Then a couple of days later, now he's come out and he's gone nuclear. So it's just very interesting, the timing of events and the way this has all unfolded.